our facilitator for this session, looking at Rive. GM Timi. Now say I'm
GMTOC.
Abi. GM. Now because of why I left my camera, this guy don't intimidate me. Like,
I beg, you don't start
I don't
today.
understand. So yeah, GM
How
Timi,
you
let's
feel?
go have you on the call again. I'm fine. How you doing too?
I'm good. I'm good. How you doing too? It's
I'm
good to be
fine.
back.
I'm good. Yes. How do you feel about this session? What do you have in
It's
store
going
for
to
us?
be. It's going to be epic.
Oh,
As you
my.
said,
No,
you're
yeah.
going to need. You're going to need one or two polos beside you because it's gonna be interesting. Actually.
Follow us. I wish I just see it. Uh, Thanks, Dale. Thank you. Thank you. Glad to have you on the call. GM Funka. GM. Always active Funka. Yeah. Guys, so please let's post this live stream. Don't yeah, you need to need some polos.
Right,
So trust
let's
me.
go, guys. Let's do
Let's go,
this.
let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, so as usual, vibes check. You know how
Yeah,
we do it now. So
I don't need
we
prepare.
shout super designers. Are you ready now?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, let's go. One, two, ready, go.
Super designers in the building. Let's go.
Guys, did he get it? What should we give him? 1/10. Guys, let's rate it. You know odds. You know odds. You know odds. They say the
Okay,
boys still
let's
low.
go.
So yeah, super designer. Yeah, let's go. So let's go again.
Super
One, two, ready, go.
designers. Super
Yeah!
designers.
Yeah,
Let's
no,
do
no, that's what I'm
this.
talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's the vibe. Super designers vibe. Only possible, of
Large
course,
charged.
on
100.
Solana.
Only.
Yes, now. So let's go into this. So that means, Timmy, please kindly introduce yourself to those watching us for the first time.
Okay. So I'm Timi, and I'll be you guys facilitator for introducing Rive to designers. So last week we jumped on making our mascot jumped, and I think most of us now has a little understanding of how Rive animation works, right? So today we are going to explore the interactivity in Rive. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun because we need it. We need that interaction in our life. Interactivity is everything.
Yes, guys. Yep,
Yeah,
yep, yep. So you all need that interaction in your life too. One of you. I know they touch you guys. I know your life is boring. You need this ride to spice up your life again.
yeah, kite,
So yeah, let's get into today's talk, Jai. Let's go.
Okay, so I have a. Let me share my screen. Okay. Okay. I think you guys can see my screen now. All right. TLC, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
TLC.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So today we are going to be exploring state machine in Rive, which brings interactivity. So what is this? You guys might ask, what is this state machine? So state machine is the director behind the scene that is telling our animations when and why it should play. So it's just like a Sereno, like let me say it's just like a middleman. Yeah, it's just like a boardman. So state machine is just like a boardman. Like it's just like a boardman. Let me use this scenario, like maybe I stake with TOC actually. Say if if TOC give me his villa, I'm going to go to summit Solana summit in November. But if he doesn't give me, I'm going to stay where I'm at. So that's what we need there is the middleman that is going to pass TOC's filler to me actually. But if TOC does not release his filler or it doesn't meet that condition, I can't get that filler. So that's just the way state machine is. It's just like the one holding the condition. Because even if you stake, you have to meet a condition before you can withdraw your money or you can win. So it's just like that. It's just like you trying to say that okay, I want my animations to laugh, but I want it to laugh when someone interacts with it, right? So he can't laugh until I interact with it. So state machine is that middleman holding the laugh before I interact with it. So and for us as a designer, I believe that this state machine is big because we don't need to what makes it cool is we don't even need to think about um, developers to do this for us. Do you get it? You don't need to wait for developers to implement this kind of interactions for us. We don't need to wait. And it's cool because your ideas doesn't have to be just you explaining anymore. You can just go into Rive, even if na square or triangle. You can combine the two and make it interactive, and your ideas has come to life. From there, you can make it beautiful. So it brings a lot of opportunities for us as a designer to explore our imagination actually. And you don't need to keep your beautiful button static anymore. So make you no just be like say we dey talk too much. Let's see it for our own eyes what this state machine is all about. So this this is what I have in mind that we are going to explore. So we are going to do a little toggle interactions, which you can just toggle from. Let me play this from off to on, something like this. Simple as this, and you can just give this to your developer. Easy as that. And if we explore this, we are going to see this AM and PM interaction button. So we might at the end of this today's class we might have something like this, which we have it's going to be interactive, it's going to be interesting. So if I it's going to turn to mode, and if I interact it's going to go back to day, or it's going to go back to night and day. And this is cool. If someone sees this in your portfolio or in your product, Abba, they are going to like spend time like, wow, this is cool. So it means that your animations are not boring anymore. Everybody is getting interested to interact with it. So let's just jump into it. So that's what we have today, and I'm just going to I'm going to create an houseboard, maybe 500 by 500. Just change the color, maybe something like this. Just playing around. Okay, so I'm going to um, use my rectangle to create our toggle. So I have something like this. I think we can use something like this. So the 150, 300, or doesn't matter actually. Just let's just see how it works. So I the corner radius I increase it until everything is round. So that's what I did there, and I'm just going to call this the toggle. Yeah, I just call it toggle background or something. BG. I'm going to duplicate it. So what I want to do is I want to create something like this inner shadow, like it's going to create that 3D. So there are two ways to do that in Rive actually. So I can achieve that with my feather too, like with my feathering. If I add feather, if I change the inner to, so it's going to give me something like this. It's going to, sorry guys, let me, sorry, I'm supposed to duplicate this. Let me duplicate this. So if I turn this to feathering inner and I change the color to maybe pure black. Okay, I change this to pure black and I open our option here, and maybe increase the amount of the feather. You can have something like this, and I'm just going to offset it, the X position, something like this, maybe somewhere here, and take the position somewhere here. Voila, we have our inner um, stuff. And there's another way too, but that one is a long process. I prefer to use this, but let me just show you guys in case you like to explore other things. So I'm just going to take the feather out in this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one that I duplicate. I'm just going to call it our inner shadow. Inner shadow. So I'm going to take out this fill. So I'm going to use stroke instead. So I'm going to increase the stroke, maybe something like this, and change the color to black. And I'm just going to clip. I'm going to clip this our inner shadow. I'm going to clip it to our background. So we have something like this. So now I can play around it without worrying about feather. So I can just bring it like somewhere like this, maybe somewhere like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply feather to this our inner shadow. So I'm going to add feather and increase the feather, maybe something like this. I can reduce the blend percentage maybe to like 70. Yeah, something like this. So we can have something like this, and we have our inner shadow. I think this is cool. We can go with this. So we can still make it better actually, but because of time, let's just, since we get the gist, we get the expo, something like this. So let's create our button. Oh, before our button, I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to duplicate this our toggle background and bring it up again. So I'm going to bring it up, and I'm going to take out the fill. I'm going to add stroke and maybe make it like 5 or 4 or 6. I think 6 you do. So I can, okay. So I'm just going to reduce. I put feathering, our feather, English. God help me. So I'm just going to make it something, or you don't even need to put feather self. Let's just leave it this way. So I'm just going to change the color. Let me just change the color. So it don't use pure white. So we have something like this. Let me zoom in so you guys can see. So we have something like this. I think we can go with this. I'm just going to put this theory inside the group, same group, and maybe call it BG. So something like that. Or toggle. Let me use toggle instead. Yeah. So I'm going to use our ellipse shape to create our button. So I hold down shift to create this round uniform shape. So it's going to have, I'm going to reduce it maybe to 140 or 135. I think 135 should fit in well. Yeah, it's fitting well. So I'm just going to change the color to white or some close to white. If you're not a fan of white, okay. So um, I can actually do same feathering stuff just by duplicating this, and I'm going to use this down part. I'm going to activate the feather. So I'm just going to change the color to black, and we are going to have something cool, something like 3D-ish. Like this thing is actually having um, shade, shadow. So I can come here and maybe offset. Sorry guys, not the X position, the Y position. Maybe something like this or three. I think three should go. Yeah, something like this. I think this is cool. So now we have our button. Yeah. So I can actually add this to this group, this toggle. So what I'm going to do is uh let me name this outline. Let me just call this outline. So we can have this. Because when I have this at the top, it looks like the feather is coming out actually. So I just have to take the, if you guys can see, it looks like the feather is out, like the shadow. I mean, it's like the shadow is outside this our box, this our toggle. So for to avoid that, I'm just going to put it beneath our outline, so now it looks, that shadow is not outside anymore. So we have something like this. So um, let's add text. Text, just call this and maybe I'll wait here. Duplicate and bring this here. This off. Okay. So before we jump to the animation part, I want to add, let me add this to inside this group, inside the toggle group. So I want to add an hitbox. So I'm going to show you how that hitbox works. So I'm going to create an ellipse for our hitbox. So hitbox is practically it's like how am I going to put it? It's like the listener, because you are going to use it with something interactive. Like it's just like it's going to be like the like a guide or something, or a guide that is waiting for our pointer or is waiting for an interaction on a particular element. So we are going to put a listener, an hitbox on an element that we really want it to be interactive. So that explanation is going to be more clearer when we get to that. So I'm just going to duplicate it. I'm going to have on hitbox and off hitbox. So let me put it somewhere here. I'm just going to call this off hitbox and call this on. And your hitbox, it doesn't have to be ellipse like the one I did. It can be your actual. It can be um it can be our button. It can be that this our button that we created. But I just want to show you guys because there are some scenarios that you might not want to use your element as your hitbox. So that's why I decided to show you guys like this. Let me just call this. Let me just call it hitbox. So I'm going to put it here, and I'm going to take out its blend mode to 0%. So we don't need to see it. So that's done. Now we can animate. So our animation is going to be very straightforward. So it's going to be let me just have this. Let me put them in the center, something like this. So bring it a bit here. So um, this ellipse, let me rename it to button. Okay. So what we are going to do is I'm just going to have this our ellipse, our button, sorry, our button. I'm going to key in the Y position because that's what we are going to take it from up to down. So and I'm going to change the color of this. So I'm going to key in the color here and also this color as well, this particular one. But I'm going to change the color of this one. I'm going to use something like this, something like this. Yeah, something like this. So we've created our own timeline or our own animation. I'm just going to call this on. I'm going to duplicate it. So I'm going to duplicate it and call this off. Off. So what I'm just going to do is our button, I'm going to drag it. I'm going to come to this Y position that I've keyed. Just going to drag it down. Just going to keep it somewhere here. Somewhere here. Yeah. Somewhere there. So and I'm going to change the color of our off and on. I'm going to change their color to, let me change this one color to this and change our off color to white. Yeah, white. So now we have off and on and off. So let's come in. So this is where TOC is going to give me its filler before I can go to Solana Summit by November.
If I catch you and this pass on my filler, I go collect. But don't worry, I've got enough for you. I've got enough to distribute for
No
everyone.
wahala.
You
I
know my
can't
guy
wait.
now,
I
so
can't wait.
I got
I can't wait to get one.
you.
So back to it. So this is state machine. So this is our panel. This is where we are going to make those magics happen. So first thing first, I'm going to bring in our off animation into the board. So I'm going to connect it from entry. We have entry. We have things that you can use as a trigger for your animations. We have any state, we have exit, and we have entry. But mostly for this, we are going to need entry. So any state is for several animations actually, like several interactions. Maybe you want your animations to you have a lot of animations. So like you have maybe like you have smile, you have laugh, you have they are much like that. So you can use any state to give it a number. Like it's any state works mostly with number input. So we are not talking about that. Just just to mention that. So we are using entry. Any animation that you want to start, you have to start from entry. So from entry to your animation. So we are going to go from entry to off, and we are going to have, if I play it now, we are going to have this. But for our animations now to be interactive, we need to bring this our on, and you guys can see this one circle around our animations. So that's the state shade. Actually, this thing is very powerful because that's the middleman I'm talking about. This is the middleman I'm talking about because this arrow here that goes from off to on is the one holding the condition, is the middleman. Is the one I'm going to give a condition that until I interact with it before you go to on. So it's going to be, so for this to happen now, if I play it now, you guys can see just jump from entry to on because there is no condition. There's no condition holding it back. There's nothing there, but for us to make our interaction to make our animation interactive, we need an input. So we need to add an input. I'm going to get rid of this. So input are three actually. So we have number inputs, we have boolean inputs, and we have trigger. So number input is maybe you want to give your animations numeric. Maybe you want it to play from 0 to whatever numbers you gave it to, or boolean. Boolean is just a fancy way of saying true or false, or um, right or wrong, something like that. So Boolean is going to give your animations if or if not. Do you get? So it's going to hold it or it's going to pass it. So if it is true, it's going to pass. If it is false, it's going to hold it. Something like that. Sha. So trigger is most of us play games even on phone. So if you want to shoot, you have to trigger something. You have to press a button. So that is trigger. But you can use trigger for this, and we can use boolean as well. But I don't think number is, so it's up to what you want to do to choose the kind of input that you think is that will best fit your animations or your interactions. But for this, let's just go with boolean because it's also off and on, just like this. So I'm just going to call our boolean toggle. I just call it toggle. So I'm going to come back to our arrow. This is our middleman. And if I click on this our middleman, this face is going to come out. These three icons is going to come out. You guys can even see it's saying off to arrow. So if I click on this create condition, I'm going to create a condition. It's a simple English. It's saying if our toggle, if I click on the toggle, and it's going to show if it is true, if I want it to be true before it goes to on, or if I want it to be off, because we are going to have true or false here. So I'm going to say true when it is true, when our toggle is checked, go to on, and you guys will see what we have now. You guys can see now that it's stuck. It's stuck there in off because it's waiting for a message to be passed, or a like it's waiting for that interactions to be made. So if I you guys can see it jumps like it's our horn is on when once I checked. What if I can't what if I unchecked? Now it's not going back because we still need to tell it we still need to give it a condition that you have to go back to off if I unchecked. So we are going to come to this on, and you guys can see that little circle around it, and I'm just going to drag it and connect it back to off. So I'm going to select this arrow that goes back to off, and I'm going to come and create another condition that say if our toggle is false. Now if it's unchecked, it should go back to off. So this should work now. Like from to on, off to on. So we can toggle this forever. Now it's working, but there's no animations in it. Like it just look like normal toggle. So why is it not special? But we can make it special now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select these two conditions. These are our two conditions. I'm going to add duration. So I'm going to give it a duration that I'm going to give it a time for it to happen because right now there's no duration. It's showing zero. It's just happening ASAP, like in a blink. So I'm going to let's add maybe 300 milliseconds and let's see what we have. Let me replay it. You guys can see now we have little animation. Like we have little animation and this is cool. This is cool. So we can still make it better by still um, selecting the two conditions. So I can come here and add interpolation because it's happening in linear right now. So I can just change it to Copic interpolation, and I like it to be explosive. And I've shown you guys this the two technique. If you want it to be explosive, you have to take out your easing. If you want it to to slow from the end, you have to take out the ease out. So we have something like this. You guys can see. I think this is better. This is looking better. So now what we just need to do is we want to interact with it on our passport. We want to interact with it when we actually press it on our artboard. So that's why we have this hitbox. That's why these hitbox are here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here to listeners. So it's the English are straightforward listeners. So it's asking me that what element do I want to, or what object do I want to listen to and connect our input and interactions to it. So I'm going to select our off hitbox. I'm going to listen to I want our animations to listen to our hitbox. So listen to our hitbox. So if I select our object that I want to allow the state machine to listen to, so you press plus here and it's going to create it. So I'm going to come here to our right panel. So you guys can see it's saying pointer enter. So if this is a button I want to do like over, I think pointer enter is going to work. Or pointer exit is maybe when your mouse it left your element or something like that. But in this case, we are going to use pointer down. We have pointer up, we have pointer move, we have click. So I'm going to use pointer down. That is click actually. It's also click. So when I set this to pointer down, I'm going to come here. I'm going to get rid of this and input change because it's inputs that we are using. So I'm going to use toggle. I'm going to fire toggle, and I want this to happen when, because we allow this to happen when the um when our toggle is false, right? We want it to be off because I'm on off its box, so we want it to be false. And I'm going to come to on its box. So we have we have we have we have a target button here. So if I use this target button, I can actually, sorry, before that, so let me just duplicate this. So I'm just going to duplicate this. We have two. So I'm going to call this on its box. So if I have this and I come here, I'm just going to choose our um on its box circle. So now it's connected. So if I come here, we have on its box here. So you guys can always confirm um the element that you are listening to from here. Actually, it's going to name the actual name is going to be here. So I'm going to use same pointer down toggle, but I'm going to change it to true. So now I'm going to, if I play it now, choose this. You guys can see we can actually interact with it on our outboard. And this is how we can interact with it too if it's on our web or our app, exactly this way. So yeah, I hope my little explanation on this thing now, you guys get it, because it's actually cool. And if the more you do it, the more you understand its fixture. So that is that for this. And I hope you guys understand what state machine is all about, because that is that for state machine. It's just giving it a condition, like giving it an instruction that I want you to hold it. When this is true, go to this. When this is false, go to this. When this number is number 50, play this animation. When this number is number 10, play this animation. Stuff like that, just like that. That's just it. That is, past that. So let's make it more interesting actually, so you guys can see how. Let's do this before we call it a day. I hope I can you guys will be patient for me to do this. So let me just jump into it. So I'm going to create something like this. I'm just going to change the color, something like this. I'll use something like this time. I'm going to create a rectangle with something like 500 by 150. So 500 by 150, and corner radius checked. So we have our toggle. We have our whatever I want to call it. So I'm just going to change the color. Change the color to, let me pick the color here, and we can adjust it. Maybe something like this. Yeah. So I'm going to use that same technique. We can actually use feather, but let's use that other techniques. So I'm going to call this base or stuff like that. I'm just going to duplicate this and call this our inner shadow. Inner shadow. So I'm going to take out the color, use stroke, expand the stroke, or increase the exposure. And hey, voila, increase the stroke. Okay, maybe to 30. Let's just go with this. So I'm going to change the color to black, and I'm going to clip it to our base, just like I did with that one. So I'm going to select this. I'm going to offset it this way, something like this, because we want the light to come from here, like this. So okay, so I'm just going to activate our feather and increase the amount. I'm going to increase it. That's too much. Maybe like something like this. Something like this should do. Yeah, something like this. I think we can go with this. Or better still, maybe I should just reduce the blend. Maybe 70 or 80. Yeah, 80 is cool. Yeah, I think this is better. And so I feel just sit down, they look this thing. Just they look am. But so I'm going to duplicate this and bring it up, just like what I did the other time. So I'm going to call this outline. Let's call this outline. Take out the fill. Use stroke. Can give the stroke maybe 5. I said 5. Oh, can use 5, and probably we don't use pure white. Maybe something like this. So I can. I'm going to duplicate this our color here. So I'm going to increase this number. This our the down one. I'm going to increase the number maybe to 10. I want to add feather to it. So I'm just going to change the color to something like this. So you can have something cool like this. You guys can see where I'm heading. So I'm just going to activate our feather, so you can give us that shadow. But I'm going to reduce the amount of the shadow, maybe to 8 or 4. I think 4 is, yeah, I think 4 is nice. 4 is okay. And you can still play with the color actually, but I think this is okay. I can actually choose this and maybe use something closer. Let's just go with this. Time no day. So I'm going to create our sun, because we are moving from sun to moon, like day to light. So I'm going to create our ellipse and reduce this maybe 149 or so, or even 140 or 135. Let me check my snapping so I can have it in the middle. Okay, I think this will work. This will work. So I'm going to change this color to white. It's pure white. I'm going to call it, or let me duplicate it. So I'm going to call this um, sun ring also, something like that. I'm going to call this our sun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this color to yellow. Let me just use the one I used here. So reason why I duplicated this sun is I want to show you guys one cool stuff. So I'm going to click I'm going to clip this our sun to our sun ring. So I'm going to clip it to our sun ring. So and you guys will see I'm going to offset it a bit. Let me uncheck my snapping. So I'm going to have something like this. So it's going to be like the sun is actually shining from here and it's giving us that sun uh, ring, something like that. Sha. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to do. So I'm going to make it better. I'm just going to add feather to our sun, so we can have something like this. You guys can see where I'm going to. So we have something cool like this. You can still keep on tweaking it till it makes sense, but let's move on. So now we have our sun. So I'm going to group this together and call it sun. Then let's have this ray, this stuff around our sun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this sun or the sun ring. Let me duplicate the sun ring. Oh, before that, sorry, we need our sun needs a shadow. So let me just use this duplicate. These are our duplicators as shadow first. Let me call this sun shadow. So I'm going to make this black. I'm going to make it black. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset it. Like I'm going to oh so I don't know why my this thing is not showing. Sorry guys, let me just refresh and it's going to show back. Sorry. Mm, okay. So I'm going to select this, drag this down, drag this to somewhere here. It's like we've tampered with our. Let me bring this. Let me offset it from here because I don't know why. Why is the two connected actually? Let me duplicate the sun instead. Then what's going on there? Oh, the clip is normal there. I'm just going to clip this back. And we have this. So just let me just duplicate this one instead and take it to the back and see if this is going to work. He already has this thing that we want to use self. Now am I supposed to use? So I'm just going to take this down. Okay, it's clipped. So I'm going to unclip it because it's I duplicate this sun and I clipped it to this our sun ray. So I'm just going to call this sun shadow. I'm going to unclip this so we can see it now. Let's bring it somewhere around here. Somewhere here. So I'm going to increase the feather. I'm going to increase the feather, something like this. So you can give us that effect. So we have something like this. So sorry guys, trying to check. Okay, so same problem that we have the other time. This shadow is showing outside. It's showing outside this. So how to solve it is how we can solve it is we are going to take our outline up, and yeah, I think it solved that. So now it looks like our sun is inside this stuff actually. So let's keep on adding details. So I'm just going to duplicate this our it's because it's same ellipse. That's why I'm just keep on duplicating because I don't want to keep on creating ellipse, and they are going to be in the same shape and the same group. I mean, so I'm going to name this our sun ray. Let me call it sun ray. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand it. So to have a uniform expansion, and you want to tamper with your size, not your scale. Because if I click on this box here and hold my shift, I can increase the scale actually, but I don't want to mess with the scale because I want to animate the scale. So I want to increase the size. So to increase the size from here is if I hold down my shift with Alt or option if you are using Mac. So if you hold down your shift and Alt, you can and you have your this thing in a like a slack um side, like something how my mouse is. So you can just drag it, and it's only going to affect your size. I'm only increasing the size. So we have this. Actually, we are going to clip this our sun. Let's clip it to the base so we don't see it outside. Something like this. Yeah, I think this is cool. I think it's now that it's coming out well, actually. So I'm going to I'm going to duplicate this ray and do the same thing. I'm just going to go down Shift and Alt and drag. Oh, sorry about that. Even before that, let me reduce this so we can see it. So just give it 50% blend. Second one, hold down Shift and Alt, drag maybe somewhere here, and give it maybe 25% so you guys can see. So I'm going to duplicate it again and do the same thing. So we have something like this. I'm going to give this maybe 15%. So we have something like this. But this one is looking more lighter. Maybe give it 45% or so, or 40%. I think 40% is, yeah. So we have our sun ready. We have our sun ready. This is cool. This is cool. So let's have our cloud or sky. Is it cloud? Yes, cloud. Let's have our cloud. So to do that, I'm just going to use ellipse as well. I'm just going to have multiples of ellipse just bind together. I like using uniform ellipse. So I'm going to have this. So to keep on duplicating ellipse, since I'm using same color um, for our cloud, so I don't need to. I can choose to do that, but I can also choose to just duplicate its child, its parent, its child. So I'm just going to duplicate this path. I'm going to duplicate it, and you guys can see I have inside one ellipse. I can have plenty of child. I think I've talked about before. So I can even mess with this one scale because I'm not animating it. So just have something like this. Something like this. Duplicate it. Sorry. Duplicate. Maybe drag it somewhere here. Increase or reduce it. Something like this. So I have something like this. You can duplicate this. I have something like this. Or maybe reduce this one. Just messing around actually. Okay. So we can have something like this. Something like this. Maybe just have something you can call sky. Yeah, or something like this. So this is what I'm saying. But if I want to change their colors, it's not possible because they all carried their parent color. No one can be bastard. No one can change his color. But assuming I want to have different colors, I have to have different ellipse. In case you try that and you want to change color, you know work. So I'm going to take this under here. I'm going to put it beneath our inner shadow because we want it to look like it's inside. It's inside. So I'm just going to clip it to our base. I'm just going to clip it to our base so we don't see the rest. Something like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to duplicate this so we can have two and change the color. I just take maybe bring this down and change the color here. Maybe something like this. I think we can use something like this. So if you want to go crazy, you can just switch. You can just switch it just to make it look different from the first one. So I'm just going to do that. Something like something like this. I think we can go with this. Bring something like let's just go with this. So I'm going to group this. I'll call it cloud. Uh, so we have our cloud. What else? What else? Okay, so we need to do our moon actually. So I'm just going to have an ellipse here. So I'm going to have an ellipse here. I'm going to duplicate this. Have another one here, maybe here, and reduce it a bit. So duplicate. Maybe have a smaller one here. Or something like this. Maybe something like this. I'm just going to group them. I'll call it moon light or something. Moonlight. So I'm going to have it in same because it's going to be on our button. So I'm going to have it inside our sun. So I'm going to have it inside our sun. So when we get to animations, we can change the color. You can actually change the color, but let's just have it. Let's have it down. So we don't start editing when we are in animation mode. So I'm just going to take its blend mode to 0% because we don't need it to show now. And I'm going to clip it to this our sun because I don't want it to go out of it if we animate it. Let me clip it to our sun. So it won't go out. So what's left? What's left? What's left? Uh, okay, our star. We need to add star. So I'm going to move our sun to the other side so you can add the star here. I'm going to come here, add our star. Probably make it like 6 star or 7 self. I think 7 will do. So I'm going to duplicate it. Let's duplicate it. I want to animate the scale because I like having my if I want to animate I like having it at 100%. So I'm just going to reduce the size here, maybe to 20. Duplicate. Maybe have this one at 16 or 15. Small. Probably you just have like 4 stars. You guys can add more on your own because of time. I just have something like this. So I'm going to reduce this one size as well. Maybe to 22. I'm going to group them. Call it star. Let me just give them same color cause of time. I can actually start changing their colors. What am I doing? Sorry. I can change their color from here now. They have same color. What's going on? Okay. So let me just give them same color. Uh, so let's just have that. I'm going to make it invisible. Invisible, sorry. So I'm going to bring it. Okay, so I'm just going to group everything. I'll call this AM stroke PM. Yeah. So that's our button. That's the whole button. I'm going to return our sun back to its normal position here. So now I think we can move to the animation part. So now I'm just going to come here. So so here is where I'm going to show you guys the work area that I talked about. That it makes it work faster, and it can allow you to loop animation as well. Like if you want to have loop animation, you want your mascot to just keep dancing same way. Um, Work area make that possible very well. Like, and it can also make you split your animation, like what we are going to do now. So what we want to do is we want to have day and night. So our day is going to be here, our night is going to be here, right? So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take our sun. I'm going to key in so I've activated my work area. So I'm going to key in the Y position here, and I'm going to come to the middle, this 30 frame. I'm just going to take it. Sorry, not our Y, our X rather, our X position, the X position. So I'm going to come to the middle, just going to drag it here. I think this is, yeah. So you guys can see if I reduce the work area now to somewhere here, so I can just have something like this. But we want to have it like the way we have that toggle, that it goes from on to off, back to on to off. So we want to perform that in this timeline. So that's why I use our work area, because I want to have the whole interaction in this timeline and I can split it. So you guys will see what I'm trying to say. So I'm just going to copy this. Let me just add interpolation to it. And I like it to happen fast. Don't like to waste users' time, so make it happen fast. So I'm just going to copy this and paste it to the last key. Control C this, Control V. So we have something like that. Moves from here back to here. So let's just continue. So I'm just going to reduce this because we are focusing on the night. So um, we have that. So what I would like to do is I would like to change the color of our button, our not button, our base, this blue color. So I'm going to key in the blue color here and come to night and change it. And I'm just going to change the color to maybe black, something like this. So we have something like this, something like this. Yeah. So I want to change the color of this our sun to moon. So I'm going to choose the sun. I'm going to come to the sun. You see why it's good to name your stuffs. So by the time you start animating, so you can just know what to do. So I'm going to choose the sun, and I'm going to key in the yellow color here and come to moon. I'll come to moon here. I'm just going to change the color here. Let's get to change it to something like this. maybe something like this. We can adjust it later. So we have something like this. So I'm going to add interpolation to it. Nothing is happening linearly. We have something like this. So I'm going to copy these two guys, paste it at the back here, so we can have it back. Okay, let's continue. So we have that. Let's see. So let's take out the cloud. Let's take out this cloud. Where the fuck is this now? Sorry about that, guys. So I'm going to take out the cloud, right? Yeah, taking out the cloud. So I'm going to take out, I'm going to put the Y position here and come to moon and just take it out. Just take it out like this. So we should have something like this. Yeah. Let me add interpolation so it moves more realistic. Yeah, something like this. So I'm just going to copy this first one. This first one and paste it here. Let's move on. Let's move on. So we have that. Yeah, I think it's so let's activate our moonlight. So I'm going to stay here, this first key. I'm going to open our sun, our moonlight. I already put it in 0%, the blend. So I'm going to put a keyframe here when it's in 0%. And here I'm going to put it back to 100%. So it's not showing because it's have the same color with our moon. So let's just animate the color here. Let's change the color here. Uh, on the knobs, we are not supposed to do it on animation face, but we can still do it too. So I'm just going to change the color, maybe light, and this one maybe more lighter, more lighter, and the last one, maybe it has something different. So you can have something like this. So let me add this. So you can have something like that. Okay. You can actually even make it more interesting. Maybe we can just rotate itself. We can even rotate it. Just just playing around. Like when it's here, I can actually take it out. Mm, I'm going to key in the X position. So yeah, I'm going to key in the X position. I'm going to key it in here too. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to take this out, and we can have something like this. It happens in linear. Just so let me add that rotation and let's see what we are going to have. Let me see. Let me put it to 0 here. Probably here, maybe 180 degrees. Let me see. Let me see. Okay. Let me add. What do you guys think? Should I just remove it, or is it looks? Let's just leave it. Every mistake is a concept. Every mistake is a concept. Okay, so let's activate our star. So we have our star here. Um, we're just going to select the star, put a keyframe here, and come here and make it visible. So we should have something like this. So I'm going to add interpolation. So we're going to have something like this. Okay. Okay. I think we are almost done here, actually. Or we are even done. But I would like to take this maybe. I left animation mode because I don't want to animate the this. I just want to adjust it. I want to bring it down to the middle. So now we can have it in the middle. So without animating it. Yeah, something like this. So I'm just going to copy every first key here because I say I haven't been keeping the stuff actually. Copy it here and paste it here. Paste it there. So you can have something like this. Okay. So what we are going to do next is we're just going to split it. So I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to call this because this is going to be our AM to PM. So this is going to be our AM to PM. AM to PM. So I'm going to duplicate it. And I'm going to call this PM to AM. PM to AM. So now we don't need to start doing same thing. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to adjust my work area, come here and bring this the other side and come here, and we are going to have something like this. So we are going to have PM to back to AM, PM to AM, and we have AM to PM. So you guys can see the how our work area makes us animate two animations at the same time, like the two how am I going to put it? Like two inputs, Abby, or two interactions at the same time, stuff like that. So now let's move to our state machine and set it up. So we want it to be from AM to PM, right? Right? Yes, it's going to be AM to PM from morning to night. So let's have this here. I'm going to drag this here, connect it, connect it back because we want to add condition to it back and forth. So we're going to use input. So this time I'm going to use trigger. I'm going to use trigger. So I'm going to call this I'm going to call it toggle as well. Something like that. So I'm going to select our AM to PM condition. I'm going to add a condition. If we toggled, go to PM. Go from PM to AM. Wetin I dey talk abeg. So let me just so let's do the same thing for this one too. If it's toggles too, go from here to here. So we should have something like this. So it's actually animating because we already animated from AM to PM. That's why it happens. But if same thing is still going to happen because I had a condition, which is it's going to go back to AM and it can go back to PM, AM, PM, AM, PM. But what if we want it to be more interesting? Like you should add more animations, this star dancing, other things moving around, like stuff like that. We can make that happen. So what we are going to do is we are just going to add more animations to our state machine just to give it more conditions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose one of these our animation. I'm going to duplicate it. So I'm going to duplicate it, just bring it down here and just call this PM, just PM, because we want to animate PM like when your toggle is in PM. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out these AM keyframes. I'm just going to delete them. I'm going to take this other side too because they are for AM. I'm going to delete them as well. So I'm going to bring animation we have here, or the PM. I'm going to bring it to the first keyframe here. I'm going to drag it here and increase our work area and give let's give ourselves more time so that because we want to have I want to make it a looping animation. So three if you just press 300 it's going to give you 3 seconds. So 3 seconds I don't know, but I feel like these 3 seconds here a lot of all these Rive animators use 3 seconds for their looping. Though it's cool, but I still dey ask myself why. Why be say na 3 seconds most of them dey use? So that's why me too I'm using 3 seconds. Because if you are curious later on if you see them using 3 seconds. So why is because why I think is because if I want to loop, I will have to duplicate and you will have a lot of you need a space to duplicate other stuff so that you can offset and have your loop. So that's one of reason why they used to have their work area in the middle and have maybe 2 seconds before the animation and 2 seconds after the animation free. So let's get into it. So let's start with the star actually. Or no, let's start with um the moon ray. It's the sun ray, but we can call it the moon ray this time. So I'm going to animate the scale. So I'm just going to put a keyframe on the scale or key that amount. So I'm going to come to the middle, 30 frame, and give it maybe increase it actually. Just maybe one, just add 15 to it, 115, and come to the end here. Okay, come to the end there, copy this first frame and paste it back. So I'm going to make this loop. So we should have something like this. Okay, I think that's cool. So I'm going to do the same for ray, the second ray. I'm going to animate the scale come to the middle, and increase it 115 as well, and copy this, paste. So I'm going to do the same for this other one too. This, increase it in the middle, and paste, and return it back to 100. So we should have something like this. So now everything is happening at the same time, which it doesn't make it look realistic. Like it's just happening at the same time. So let me just add interpolation to it, and we can offset it. So I think this is why we have to, if you want to have a looping, and this is why you need this work area set up like this. So I'm going to copy it, and put my play guide, and put it in the last keyframe, and just paste it here. So now you guys can see we have more keyframes, and mind you, this first keyframe is the last keyframe, so that's why I put it at the last, so you guys can understand. So I'm going to drag it back here so I can offset it. So I'm just going to offset it. I'm just going to drag this here, drag this here, something like this. Now if you play it, everything plays independently. Like it makes sense this way now. Like it makes more sense this way. Yeah. But I think, oh god. But we can just continue, because I feel like we should have reduced the opacity of this race, because it looks bright. But let's just keep on. So let's do, but it looks fast right now. There are two ways to make it slow. Is either you use spacing, like the spacing principle that we talked about. The 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 far your keyframes are, the slower it is, and the closer your keyframes are, the faster they are. But in this scenario, we are just going to reduce the playback speed. I'm going to reduce it to maybe 0.5. So we should, yeah, I think this is better. Now it look like a breed, like breed. So let's animate for the star. So let's do the star. Just come here. This is the star. I, want I said I want to change the color. I've forgotten to. So I'm going to come. We're animating the star. Sorry, guys. I want to animate the scale. So I'm just going to put the keyframe at the first, and come to the middle, and just maybe 50%. Yeah, 50%. And come here and put copy and paste. Just going to put interpolation, so we have something like this. But this looks slow, so we can make it more faster by using our principle. Actually, our principle will work here, because I've already reduced the playback speed. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag this closer, maybe somewhere here, right? And have this here, and I'm just going to um, let me have this one in 15 frame, so they can only have like like maybe 10 frames differ from each other. So I'm just going to copy this. I'm just going to copy this and paste. What's this now? She can't wahala with this. So I'm just going to copy this and paste. So now it's supposed to fast because we have they are closer to each other, and I duplicate this same uh, animations to here. So we should have this. So what just going to do is I'm going to copy this our keyframe. These are our keyframes. I'm just going to copy it and paste it to other ones because of time. So I'm going to choose this. Just key in the frame before you paste it. So you just key the frame and paste. Do the same for this. Key in the frame and paste on this one. Key in the frame and paste. So we have something like this. So we are just going to offset it because everything is playing at the same time. So I'm just going to copy this and bring our play key or this play line. Bring it here and paste. Copy everything, highlight everything rather, and come to the first key. So we can offset it. So I'm just going to um, offset it. What am I doing? Sorry, guys. I'm not sure. I okay. Copy. Sorry. Highlight. It's like I didn't copy everything at first. So I didn't highlight everything. I mean, okay. I'm just going to offset them. Just offset and offset. Add this maybe somewhere here. I have different. I think this is cool. Yeah, I think this is cool. We can go with this. So that is done for. I think that is this is better. So let's do for the AM. You can use that for the PM. Let's do for the AM. So I'm just going to duplicate this and just call it AM. It's going to be the AM animation. So I'm just going to take out all these ones. I only need the AM animation, which is this. Is this all? So okay. The only thing we're animating is the ray actually. So going to do the same, give ourselves more time, 3 seconds. Bring our work area to the middle. Okay. Just going to take this, bring it here, just to be sure. So we're going to select our sun ray. Come here, the scale. Going to copy the scale and come here, 115. and when it's here, take it back to 100. So we have that. Do the same for this. Around 5. Back to 100. Do the same for the last one. Around 5. Something like that. Let's select everything, add interpolation. So I'm just going to copy everything. Let's test if it actually works. It's not on loop. Okay. So let's just duplicate, copy, and paste. Offset. Let's go and offset this. So something like this. Let's reduce the 0.5 so you can have something like this. Yeah. So now let's let's add this to our state machine. So what we are going to do is let's let's take this out. So with this kind of animations that we want to do, to our mind is going to like on enough it's supposed to come to our mind that we have AM, like the way we set it up earlier. We are going to have AM and I want to have AM playing. Like I want this animation, this one, just keep playing until we interact with it. Until we interact with it. Yeah. So it's just based on condition. So we have our AM toggle here already animated, which is AM to PM that we have as AM to PM. So this is AM. So our AM is going to go from AM to PM, which we did here. So I'm just going to connect it. Let me bring it. Let me just put it here. So let me just connect this to AM. So I want you to go when I interact with our toggle. I want you to go from AM to PM, and we have our animation here. So I'm going to come here and set it to, if I toggle, go from here to here. So when you go to PM, when you get to PM, which is this, I want you to stop here. I want you to have your full stop here. Here, this is our PM animation. So I'm going to connect it to this is our PM animation because we have AM to PM, and which is this is our PM animation. So I'm going to come here. So it's going to be our condition is when I toggle, go to make this animation happens, and which is when this animation happens, going to PM, which is this PM. But this is a different animations, right? So I'm going to say set a condition that when you play this AM to PM animation 100%, like when you are done with this animation, jump to this. And the way to do that is I'm going to set an exit time that when you are done with this, just jump straight to this. You don't need to wait for any toggle or any stuffs like that. So it's just like you talking to your to your animations with this state machine actually. So I'm going to set in this one, I'm going to set exit time to 100%. That is going you should play 100% before you jump to PM. So and when you are in PM, when I interact with our this with our toggle, I want it to jump back from PM to AM. So here now it's I'm going to add a toggle that I'm going to add the condition. Sorry, I'm going to add the condition that it is when it is toggled. Now you should jump from PM to AM, which is this animation. So you have to play this before you go back to this AM animation. I don't know if my explanation is clear to you guys. So I'm going to set this one now that this one play this 100% before jumping to our AM animation, and it will just keep on happening like that. Like it will just keep on going like that. So now our middleman or our board man, they make the decision because we've already given it. So I'm going to set this to 100%. That should the exit time to 100%. That when you play our PM animation, 100% when you are done playing with it, you can move to this. So let's see what we have, guys. So you guys can see this is playing until I toggle. You guys can see what happened, right? It jumps from here. You guys can see that this plays finish before it jumps here and stops here until I toggle again or I interact with it before it can jump back to here and place finish and come back here and stop here until. So if I do that now, you guys can see it plays this one finish before coming here. That is that's the interactivity, and that is you giving your animations interaction, like you telling it when to play a particular a particular animation. So we can do this forever, and we have this. So that I would like us to interact with it on the artboard, just exactly what I did the other time. But in this scenario, I don't want to have I don't want to have I don't want to stress my users. Actually, let me use that they have to click here or click here before it moves. I want them to click anywhere on the toggle, and the interaction happens. So the best one to use is we are going to use our base. We are going to use our base as our listener. So our state machine is going to be listening to our base. So I'm going to press plus here and maybe change this to hitbox. Or you can just leave it that way, but I just like giving my stuff's name. So I'm going to come here and change it to pointer down and set the condition input change. I'm going to select our input that fire toggle when I interact with our base. It is literally it's it's everywhere. It's everywhere on our outboard. So now if I this should happen. So if I click anywhere, our animation will just keep toggling. This is cool, right? You guys must you guys must agree with me that this is actually cool. So
This
that's
is
for this.
crazy. Very, very
It's
crazy.
crazy, man. Yeah. So
Wow.
on time don't go. I would like to
Time
show
don't
you
go, yeah.
guys. Yeah, but I think next class I'm
Let's
going to
push
show
it to
you
next
guys
week.
how.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to show you guys how I nested another animation into this artboard. How I put another um animation into this artboard. The one I did here, that I added the bed. Let me stop this so you guys can see. I added the bed to this one. Actually, you guys can see. So this is I animated them in another artboard, and they are components. So it's just like Figma too, that you have different components. You can use your components in a different screens. So that's exactly what I did here. So that's that for this, and we are going to continue from here next class.
Wow.
So
That's nice. That's crazy.
thank you guys for
Yeah.
thank you guys for the patience, because I know this is somehow tricky, right? But if you watch it over time, and there's bunch of tutorials out there too that you can tutorial sorry that you can watch and you catch up. But that's all about state machine because people feel like state machine is it's kind of complex. It looks somehow, but it's not. It's just as simple as that. It's just like you talking to it, like you communicate with it, what you want it to do exactly. So yeah, TOC.
Nice.
Done.
All right. Thank you so much. I mean, you literally just poured out yourself on this call, and I mean, I'm not surprised though. That's just how you are. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Man, guys,